we are giving away a professor's research. All you have to do to enter is like, comment, and subscribe, and we will be picking a winner on Saturday. We'll see you then. Yo, let's jump into this metagame. This metagame is insane. This is Pokemon's tournament today. It had like over 500 people, and it was an insane turnout. Top 4 was pretty good, I'm not gonna lie. We did have the metagame here where a lot of the represented decks were the Miraidon Magnezone builds and Suicune Bax. As you could see here, we could combine the Miraidons because essentially they're the same decks. Whether you're playing one or two of them, they still have a similar gameplay strategy and everything like that. But in third place, Mega Blaziken and Greninja, still very popular in the metagame. People are, high rolling with this deck. And hey, you know what? If it's working, it's going to be one of the more high roll consistent decks, that we had in a very long time. So, more power to the people who play it, because I don't know how you guys get that 1-1 Greninja line, 1 Mega Blaziken. I just personally couldn't do it myself, but we have another tournament. We were like literally 470 or above players entered in Umbreon's Paradox Clash on Friday. This tournament was amazing as well. I came in 128th, well 111th in this one. It was a pretty good tournament. As you can see, in this tournament, Bax was definitely very popular, and we do have Mega Blaziken and Greninja in third place, I would say, because again, we combine Magnezone and Miraidons, so this is 36 and 24 of them. Combine that, definitely more than 45 entries, and then, overall, the metagame's looking similar to the last one. Overall, people are feeling so much comfortable with Suicune Bax, and what one Pocket Match is potentially going to change the format, because Suicune Bax is definitely being uncontested right now. So let's definitely check out the best decks that you guys could be playing in this metagame right now. Alright, let's start off with this Mega Lucario. This Lucario deck went 10-0, undefeated in day number 1. 8-0, I believe, sorry, not 10-0. But overall, is still insane. You do play one regular Riolu that deals 20, and then you play the other one that deals 40. Now, hear me out. I was questioning this as well, but that 10 extra HP does matter. So before people get confused about why he's playing the other one, so there were certain scenarios that difference mattered. So the deck spoke for itself. He came in 4th place in the event, and he is utilizing Greninja and Chingling in this build. So Chingling is gonna allow you to just stall out your opponents, make sure they can't use item cards. You got Greninja pinging everything on the field, while you have Riolu sitting pretty, collecting all the fighting energy, so you could blast everything away with Mega Lucario. And then you got your Professor's Researches, Copycats, Cyrus, Rare Candy, Pokeball, Lucky Egg, and Arena. So the Lucky Egg is pretty good here. You notice that they're not playing Karina. The reason, you really don't need it once you have the Greninja and Chingling doing enough chip damage here. And then afterwards, you pair the Lucky Egg with your Chingling. You're going to be able to draw all the missing pieces that you have in your deck, so you could pop off. Overall, I do like the deck synergy. It's just amazing, pops off very well, and props to the player that played this. Next up, we want to talk about the rise of Mega Absol and Darkrai. This deck right here is, one of the classics that you always see top players playing in rank. So, it's Dark Ninja, and Dark Ninja is just very consistent. You have Chingling, you know, stopping item cards from being played, Greninja pinging, and Darkrai pinging, and then just making Mega Absol shine over here, potentially, you know, attacking for 120 once you have everything set up. You know, Mega Absol with 2 energy. You know, you just splash a energy on Darkrai to ping, and then you got a Ninja pinging. That would be the most ideal. Obviously, the most ideal would be having, you know, 2 Greninja set up in a Darkrai and a full Mega Absol, but you know, I'm sure it's probably happened before. You do have this variant that was pretty successful. Did not play the Lucky Egg. I know a lot of players are playing Lucky Egg. Didn't play the Boat. Those cards are pretty good. I would say like the Egg is a lot more better because you could definitely find more cards, but overall they opted into getting the Mars and playing X Speed over the Boat. Now hear me out, like X Speed can work great on Froakie, and it can work great on one of the Mega Absols or Darkrai. I do agree with X Speed being a little bit better. Yeah, Froakie having it forever is pretty cool and all, but at the same time, I would rather have the X Speed, you know, the retreat on my Dark Pokemon as well, because sometimes those could be like make it or break it moments that, you know, could really affect your gameplay. And yeah, no, Mars is such a underrated card in this format. I do love that this guy is playing one, and you know, having the room to actually throw this in your deck is amazing. And overall, I do like this deck. It's powerful, and I'd recommend you guys give this a try. Next up, I want to talk about the sleep scam, and this is what won Umbreon's event. So there's a lot of cards. So we do have a 1/1 line of Mega Absol and Mega Altaria, and then we have, you know, the regular sleep package, and one Igglybuff got taken out so they could play a EVEX. So essentially, this deck is just meant out here to turbo out your Espeon. As soon as you can get that Espeon live and ready to swing, you're pretty much all set and ready to go. You want to turn on that sleep as fast as possible. You want to find your sleep before your opponent finds the counter to sleep, and you know, you want to find your Darkrai's as well too. So utilizing Lycia here to like search your whole deck. One Pokeball is definitely a great combo here, and it's just one of the best ways to play the deck right now. Sabrina is definitely one of the best tech cards right now. It definitely wins you games unexpectedly, and you know, I do agree that it's one of the best cards out there. You do got XP Training Arena on here, but overall, this deck is one of the best creative versions I've seen of this build. But yeah, I would recommend giving this one a shot because literally turbo. And this is the normal variant. Of course, it's still doing successful, not as much as it did before, because now people are playing a lot of counter to sleep. But at the same time, if you don't play the counter to sleep, this deck will destroy you. It will push your shit in. This deck is just amazing. There's not really that much to explain about the deck. You just put your opponent to sleep, and then, you know, just ping damage and win with Mega Altaria. Next up, we have the return of Mega Steelix Indeedee. I hate this deck with a passion, but you know, at any time it has a chance to show up in the meta, it will show up in the meta, and it will make a statement, because this ended up having a good winning record in Magic's tournament this weekend. And yeah, nah, Steelix is here, ready to stay, and you know, do a lot of damage on the metagame. But overall, I would recommend you guys try this out. Again, highly defensive deck, does what it needs to do, and makes Steelix live forever. And you know, you're dealing 120 each turn, so you're pretty much here set for success. And yeah. Next up, we have the Miraidon. So this is one of the Miraidon Magnezone decks that did, you know, successful. the most successful one this weekend, and overall I do like this tried and true. I've been playing around with double Miraidon. I personally am not a fan of it. I do like this variant, similar to the variant that I created on day number 1. It's pretty good, and just Miraidon overall with the double Lucario is just amazing because Ori is just there walling everything out. You got Turo to curve your Miraidon back into the deck, so it's not the worst start. And then you got your Magnemites in order to do your Magneton plays. And yeah, nah, this deck is, you know, super consistent, still very strong, and, you know, the best deck that you could use with Miraidon. Next up, I want to talk about Mega Altaria and Gourg, guys. This is my bread and butter. I love this deck with a passion. I played it all weekend long. Overall, it's treated me very well in the weekend tournaments, and I just can't complain about this deck. Gourg is just coming in, hitting with a massive amount of damage. 70 is kind of insane. Jirachi is so clutch, creating win conditions. You got Chingling here, stopping your opponent from playing the game, of course. Comfy is just there for any status elements. Like, it's so good against burn. So Blaziken players that really depend on that burn, you know, Comfy is just there chilling. It's good for sleep and poison if you run across poison, which is kind of rare besides the Sceptile. It just makes those decks attack for a lot less. Of course, the Blaziken is only hitting for 120, and Sceptile is only hitting for 130 once you have Comfy on the field. It's a very good tech, and I do like it in this Psychic deck. Training Arena, those 10 points extra, you know, really do matter when it's the Gourg or the Mega Altaria, because you're hitting for 80 damage with Gourg, and that's just pretty nasty. Sabrina is nasty. Double Copycat is insane. Overall, I do like the build. Runs consistent, and if you want something solid, good old reliable, this is the deck. Next up, you know, this was also in the top 4. It is Meowscarada, Ogerpon, whatever you want to call it. It's just Meowscarada EX, and this deck is still a very high contender. And, you know, the Ogerpon, not only can the status elements work on your grass Pokemon, it can be a 120 attacker with the right energy requirements that it needs in order to pop off. So yeah, nah, the deck is still great. You're prioritizing on the Meowscarada EX for sure. Meowscarada regular is just there to bring up 130 damage unexpectedly, which is really good. Double Leaf Cape, you gotta take advantage of that. You know, 30 extra HP is pretty nice. And then you got Fragrant Forest to search all your basics, which are only playing 3. So the deck is amazing, moves fast, the Chio is pretty good, and pretty much I'd recommend you guys try this out. We can't forget Suicune Chien-Pao. This deck right here, Baxcalibur Suicune, is just very popular, and this was one of the more successful builds that has been playing in Pocket Magic's tournament. And I would say, you know, I do like the tech red card here because hand disruption is something not a lot of people are playing, and people, you know, I get that Copycat exists, right? But at the same time, it could be very crucial to, like, you know, what if you have like a low hand count and then you hand disrupt, you know? Suicune is definitely, in a deck like this, you're gonna have a high hand count depending if you open up the Suicune or not. You know, the deck list is very standard with the Bow, Pokemon Center Lady, Copycats, and Rare Candy, Capes, so you can live long. You don't need the starting planes anymore because essentially it's just there to get bumped out. So the deck literally got bumped out of the deck, and this is a new way to play it. Next up, we're going to talk about Hydreigon. This is the second place. You know, Hydreigon is just very high roll, and it pops off. There's not much to say about Hydreigon here. Hydreigon hits for 130. It's a single prize, so you're not really risking too much by using this. But overall, one of the best picks. Don't sleep on him. And then, last but not least, Mega Manectric was a meta call. Definitely well playing into the Suicune Bax and, you know, Zeraora and Electrike. You're 50-50 chance to start with Zeraora in the front. That's not bad. Of course, you're going to be using the Electrike, the promo, and yeah, the deck is overall strong. You got the Poncho to protect you. You got the Electric Generator for more energy, and just overall, it's not a bad deck, and it pops off really well and takes care of all the babies. You have the Pokemon Center lady to take care of the sleep, and that's pretty much it. Like, the deck performs well, pretty normal. The only thing is, you come across a Steelix, you're cooked, but we don't talk about that. But that being said, this is going to wrap it up for the Meta Report. Thank you guys for watching, and we'll see you next time. Peace.